Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamasville Report. I'm your host, Afridamasville. I want to welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamasville Report. If you're new here, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. I mean, even if you're not new, you can like the channel, but you can subscribe the new person. And please, those of you that want to donate to the Afridamasville Fund, you know, you can do it through Cash App, or you can hit the super chat or super stickers, as it's called. You know, all donations are appreciated, because this is a project that I want all of you to be involved in. Because you remember, there were people telling me, Afridamas, what are you doing? What are you doing in Gambia? You know, what are you doing to change it? Now I went and found Afridamasville, my own town, my own rules, and you can join me there too. It would be an honor for you to come along and watch the journey of how Afridamasville is built, and you can donate by participating. Now that I made that announcement, let me do the copyright disclaimer before we get into the story here. So, as you guys know, I'm going to use a video to analyze what we're about to talk, what the topic is today. If you are someone who's been watching me for some time, you would realize that I have, in fact, talked about the Atlantic slave trade several times. Erasmo is welcome in the house. Thank you. Zebi. Oh, the happy companion, welcome in the house. And all the people whose name I haven't mentioned, you're all welcome to the Afridamasville show. So I've talked about, how the slavery happened. In different regions have different type of slavery. I've even heard people say, some of the quote unquote Pan-Africans or black quote unquote pseudo intellectuals, they would bait and switch you. They would say, oh no, the Africans did not participate in slavery. They would even say the white people just came and grabbed them. And I would give arguments like, okay, that would mean if white people can just come and grab Africans on their land that belong to them, they own the land, they speak the language, that would mean Africans have lower thinking capacity. Think about that. You're telling me some strangers just came and grabbed, Africans. So they don't realize they are reducing the African to, just a simple animal level. Like you can just go and grab like a monkey and pet and turn them into a pet. It's a lot more complicated than that. Okay? Way prior to the Atlantic slave trade, there was the Trans-Haran slave trade, where those Africans that lived during those times, around that region, the Sahel region, to be specific. Matifi, thank you for the 20 euro super chat. Thank you for donating to the Afridamasville Fund. Thank you. So even prior, so the Trans-Saharan slave trade, which is they grab they have Africans exchanged, because they used humans for currency. Let's just keep it real. They were doing this even way before the Arabs came. Mind you, the market was there. It was their culture, the people that lived in those regions. It was their culture. So you have to get that through your head, and stop trying to use your modern day, moral high ground to try to say, oh, it's evil whatsoever. Well, that's why people fought to stop it. Everything I'm about to tell you here, this is history. It's already happened. There's no add, no minus. It's already happened. It is not, you cannot come and say, oh, it is Afridamus said slavery was good or not. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. Guess what? It's happened hundreds of years ago. That's why we're talking about this here today. But now you have people who descended from the people who were sold into the Atlantic slave trade to America, to be specific, because they said they want reparation first from the whites. And the whites don't seem like they cared about it. They're like, man, we don't have time for this. So now the blacks, I shouldn't even say all the blacks, the FBA people, FBA minded people. There's nobody out there giving them pushback, but FBA minded, their leader is saying that Africa owes them reparation. Don't forget, this is the same people who also claim to be indigenous to America. Remember, they made the argument. They said they were already here. They are not from Africa. So right then and there, there's a confusion. We will get to that point to clear that part. So they're going to give us so many different reasons, but the truth of the matter is slavery, Africans, using Africans as, for merchandise. That was norm. That was normal back then. That was normal. You see, if they need a bag of salt, guess what? If you are healthy to be taken into work and the Arab wants you, guess what? You are getting exchange for that bag of salt. You see, if they need horses, one Arabian horse, they exchange 40 Africans for it. I gave you guys the prices here. I gave you guys the prices, and many people cannot stomach it. The fact is, we have to face the truth. You are not living that life. I am not living it. But this is how those people lived back then. That's how they lived. For whatever reason. So the Trans-Haran went on for 500 years. Then the white man came on the scene. Because the white people, they had their own slaves too, mind you. They enslaved each other, but they abolished slavery, because they had Christianity. But the Africans, they believed in slavery was part of the culture. They believe in enslaving one another, which explains why the Arabs showed up. They found the market, willing buyer, willing seller. It was there. I know you might not want to hear it, but this is the truth. Even today, some people are doing it. Some people are still doing this from those regions. Mind you, it was the Europeans that made slavery illegal. If the Europeans never said this is illegal, you shouldn't do this, the Africans would still be selling. You do realize this, right? It wasn't the Africans that said, oh, you know what? We found God, the moral high ground. We are no longer going to sell people. That is not the case. I don't want you to look at this in today's, frame, because then you get into these feelings of good or evil, who's good or bad. No man is good. You must accept that, because you would see the same man in one situation is the kindest. You know, this man will not harm anybody. You find that same man in another situation committing these things. But we have to also accept there is certain groups that have no problem doing this, controlling the commerce, just as it is today in today's Africa. There are certain groups that control the resources, certain groups that are in power. Do you want to tell me that, for example, in, let's say, Ghana produces cocoa. Are you going to tell me every Ghanaian is a cocoa farmer? Every Ghanaian is in the cocoa business? That's not the case. So was slavery. There were brokers, there were people who engaged in this business. There were middlemen. There were people who go into, they go to wars, they capture people. So when the Arabs came, the market was there. They bought people and took them to the Arab world. I bet you guys didn't know that, right? You guys thought it was the white man. But you see, before you point fingers at the buyers, why aren't you looking at the sellers? Isn't the seller comparable here? Because if you're trying to tie your own moral high ground to it, why aren't you calling out the seller? But you see, that's a devilish way of doing things, because the devil is a liar. The devil lies to make themselves feel good about the evil that is committed. You must, if you're going to call it evil on the buyer's side, call it evil on the seller's side. That's just what the truth is. Most of these people, even, you do realize, today they cry victim. They don't even know. They themselves, their ancestors were probably slave traders. Most of those people traded each other. That's why I put William Answer's picture in the thumbnail. You see the black man with the black wig? That's William Answer. They wrote a play about him, Shisiroko, the prince who was taken into slavery. The prince, he was a Ghanaian prince, a Fanti. Mind you, back in those days, it was the country Ghana didn't exist. I want you to know that. Different ethnic groups have their territories. Around that time, the Ashantis, they were the most powerful one because they had strong military. This William, he was a Fanti. They lived by the coast. So they were the middlemen between, like the Ashantis were conquering. The wars they fight, I'm just telling you, around the Ghana region. The wars they fight when they capture slaves, they need these slaves, they need guns. They need guns and European products. So they sell these slaves to the Fantis, and the Fantis sell them to the Europeans. The Fantis bring the Ashantis the guns. Or you go to some regions, even those same areas, it's different things. I'm just giving you examples. People are sold for alcohol. People are sold for clothing. I've shown you those evidences here. So it is, I know many come, they think, oh, you're just trying to make certain people look bad. I told you, no man is good. And this story has already happened. It is not a matter of pointing fingers, but let's make logic out of it. Let's make logic out of it. If today you are trying to hold someone accountable for slavery because, oh, they were born in a West African country. These countries are new. Mind you, the Europeans stopped the slavery. So is it possible if the Europeans had never stopped it, this slavery would still be continuing? The same Africans you're accusing, They could have been victims of that same slavery. Have you ever thought about that? I bet you never thought about that. So it wasn't like there's like group Africans versus the non-African, like these other Africans conspired, even though some Hebrew Israelites believe that crazy myth, conspired and captured this, these separate Africans and shipped them. Look, these people did what they had to do for whatever reason. And we all agree that that was an abomination. That was inhumane. And the people became civilized. They changed their ways. But today, many people want to legislate it. They said because they are descendants of the people who were enslaved, they need to be paid reparation for that. Now, because when you talk in reparation, now you're speaking in legalese, meaning in law terms, technical terms. Even white people in America, white people don't owe reparation if we go by law. Even the people that owned slaves did not owe the slaves anything. Hear me out. Hear me out. Just hear me out. When Christopher Columbus came to America in 1492, they said they discovered the New World, right? Not exactly the United States. He went to, Guatemala, South America, other places. But it's all in the Americas. So they said they need to set up plantations in this hemisphere. And they were trying to enslave the native indigenous Indians they found here and other places. It was hard to enslave them because guess what? This is their land. They know the land. It would be difficult to enslave people on their own land, especially if it's in farming. And most of them were dying too, and they were resisting. A man is more likely to physically resist you when you try to enslave them in a familiar territory. But if you remove them from their territory, now they have no more power because they are not familiar with that area. But the Europeans needed workers. Yesterday, when I said this in another stream, somebody got upset. They needed workers. When they brought the slaves, didn't they put them in farms and made them work? They were workers. They didn't get paid. And also, you notice, I didn't say these Africans volunteered to work on these farms for free. Have you noticed that? But remember, it was law in America to be able to own a human being to work for you. And it was also law in the land where these Africans came from, which explains why they were sold. So it was acceptable practice. I'm not saying I agree with it, but it was an acceptable practice. This is why when you read, the Emancipation Proclamation, if you read through those histories prior to that, even after that, they gave the slave owners, they paid them for freeing their slaves because legally, those people had the legal rights to own humans. It was legal to own human beings in America. Not only in America, Brazil, Jamaica, and even Africa, where the Africans were coming from to America. It was legal. So these people bought those human beings. But now the reason why most of these Africans that say they're Pan-African, they want to pander to the blacks, lying to the blacks, because the blacks are upset about what happened, in slavery. Because it went on through generation, not just the slavery, the offsprings, imagine chattel slavery, another human owning you for life, generation after generation. Eventually it stopped. But rightfully so, you would see, if one thinks about it, if you don't use your rational mind, You will be upset. You will ask questions. How did they allow this to happen? How come the people where I come from sold me? But you have to remember, you were not the same group of people. No, that wasn't the case. These were different territories, stronger kingdoms, you know, pick out the weak ones. The white people needed people to come and work in Brazil and America. So they sold them off. There was no shortage of chiefs, just like today, right? If you want to to go look at the contracts of these minerals that you people like to talk about. Oh, Africa has all this. Go find out who has the power to sign off these contracts. It's the same type of hierarchy. Remember, the chief system, they did not, it's not like it just disappeared. No, the tradition remained intact in most places. So that would mean from generation to generation, the lineage continued. Some people today, presently, they will be able to tell you that their ancestors directly, who were chiefs of chiefs, used to sell human beings for alcohol, for guns, for mirrors, you name it. They know this. So that's why I always say, stop painting it as Africans. Which Africans? But now, FBA, we're going to address FBA's claim for reparation. I just wanted to give you a Reader's Digest on, the little history about slavery. Tariq Nasheed, you guys know Tariq. Tariq Nasheed now wants reparation from Africa. You guys remember when I was telling you guys that, this relationship because I've tried to build, like when I speak, people say, oh, Afridamas, you're dividing people. I said, you were not together for me to divide you to begin with. I am bringing people together based in truth, not based in skin color or lies. That's not what I'm here to do. The things I have talked about, if any of you were paying attention, you're beginning to see it. Remember when I said the blacks are going to eventually ask Africa for reparation? They're going to say, Africans got to give us reparation. People are like, man, shut up. You're just a divider. We saw a couple of these people. You guys remember that nomadic guy that is traveling around South Africa, Zambia? You all heard him. This man went to South Africa. He had the nerve to ask for free land. I said, I guess this man doesn't know the history of South Africa, does he? But you see, they said they want free land. So at this point, the blacks feel that, everybody owes them. Everybody owes them. And of course, it's not all blacks. It's the ones that, believe in this loser mentality where they think everybody owes them. But, you got to be careful what you ask for. You got to be careful because you see, the blacks were saying, oh, we are Pan-Africans. They brought the Africans in. So they were going hard. They said it's white supremacy. So when they started getting wind of saying there might be hope for them to get reparation, boom, they turn on the Africans, which is funny. The Africans that were participating in this. The Africans started saying, oh, we black too. Not all, but some of these people. We got to get reparation. The blacks are like, oh, hold up. Now that there's checks, guess what? We are not the same. We are Indians. We are indigenous. Look, the point is they want a check. They are not getting the check from the white man. So now they are looking to Africa. And I'm about to play that here. But before we enter that, let me give you a preview of what, Afridamasville would look like. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't that beautiful? Imagine relaxing around an ocean like that. Think about that. Think about the positive things instead of always looking to be upset and mad at things. If you truly open your heart to seeing the truth, you will see it. Instead of trying to hide behind a group, because you will never see the truth. You might think the person telling you what is happening is the enemy, but no, that person is trying to save you from your own demise. So here we go.
Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and I like me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I've been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up. Double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like hold up. What's the problem? I'm pulled up. Big flex, my swole up. Hard body, they fuck.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Theodore Assassin said slavery trade was cursed. Africans, he's trying to say Africans were cursed from the slave trade. Well, I mean, what can I say? It's possible. It is possible. But we're about to find out if this is in fact true. But you could be right. Because nothing good, like Africans didn't get anything good from it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the people who engaged in it. But to say Africans as a group and, benefited, nah, I can't say that for sure. So let's bring Tariq Nasheed, the leader of the blacks, the FBA section. So here we go. And some are going to say Tariq is not their leader, but that's not true. He is.
Scalp looks like a baby chia pet. Tethers, don't get mad at me. Allegedly. Looked like they were sending a message to our brother Dave. So I hope our brother's okay. Hope our brother's going to be good. Well, I think we have some tethers in here hating on my hair. They're like, look at that damn hair. What?
So they called, black immigrants. If you're Caribbean, if you're African, they call you tethers, right? So they like to use these terms, you guys remember how the blacks would say their culture is about jokes, right? And I talked about this yesterday. It's only, you cannot call something a joke if you don't tolerate it being returned. So they enjoy it. You go to the chat, they are laughing. They just love calling other people names. So obviously it's not a joke, because when you repeat and call them similar thing, they get upset, meaning they are calling you these names in hopes of hurting you. It's entertaining when he does it. They love it. But when the Africans, return the favor, now all of a sudden the Africans are haters. The Africans are hating on them. So this is his stream. So listen to it. He's gonna tell us how he feels about tethers, whatever that is. So here we go.
Tether, I got a nice foundational Black American hair. I can't help that your forehead and your scalp looks like a baby chia pet. Tethers, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I got strong foundational Black American hair follicles, okay? There's a tether in here hating on my beautiful, lush FBA hair. How dare you, Tether? Don't hate on me because I got strong FBA follicles. and your hairline looks like a mangy French poodle, don't hate on me, buddy. Dude, start eating better. Don't hate. You dig? Start eating better, Umduge. There's some tether in here hating on my beautiful foundational Black American mane. That's what I eat, nice, healthy, foundational Black American foods created by my family.
Would that be fried chicken, collard green, chitlins?
You dig? You up here eating?
Because, you know, like when you ask Black people in America what's Black food, that's what they would tell you. But since now I'm pointing it, some are going to take offense to it. But what would be considered, you know, Black food? I've written papers on it. They call it soul food, which came from slavery. You know, you go find out it's consisting of ribs, chitlins, hog feet, and, you know, nothing wrong with that. People in some societies, they eat everything from the cow too.
That UNICEF rice, and it has your hairline janky. So don't be mad, Umduge. Don't be mad. Oh, no. Don't be mad, brother. Don't be mad. Now let me get on y'all asses. Since y'all want to talk greasy to foundational Black Americans, I posted a question the other day on Twitter. And boy, it went viral. My brother Mikal, he sent me this article, and it asked a great question. Does Africa owe reparations to foundational Black Americans too? That is the question. Do African countries owe reparations to foundational Black Americans? That's the question. Let's get into that, ladies and...
So you guys heard what Tariq thinks is a joke, right? The hair thing. So Black Americans are very self-conscious about hair. So he thinks every other Black person is the same way. So he's just assuming this is avatars on the internet, but you guys have an idea what he thinks of what somebody from Africa's hair would look like. Oh, the people from Africa, their hair do not look like his hair, according to him. That's what he's implying. African people's hair do not look like this. I've never seen an African hair look like this. That's what he wants you to believe. But okay.
Gentlemen, do some of these African countries owe reparations too? Now, we're bringing this question to the forefront because every time we talk about reparations, a lot of these folks want to come in and they want to interject themselves. These non-FBA people, they want to interject themselves into our conversation. Every time we talk about reparations, they come in, well, we ain't FBA, but all Black folks should get reparations too, even if they weren't descendants of slaves.
Which Africans are saying this? Which Africans are saying this? But you see, these people, even Roland Martin, because of this quote-unquote reparation, these people have turned half of their own people to foreigners. To any one of them that say what they don't like, now all of a sudden they are not American. So for a group of people, if they have this much power to decide who is who, why are you begging for reparation? Just go take it. It means you got power. But we know that's not the case. But let's allow Tariq to tell us why he thinks Africa owes reparations. So about 2 million Africans from different countries live in America. He's going to sound like it is the whole of Africa that is in America that is saying this. So few people that he disagrees with now, all of a sudden, is every African. Every African. So let's go.
Even if they're not foundational Black Americans, all African people or Black people over here, they should get them some reparations. No. There's this radio host out here in LA, Dominique DePrima. She's done a lot of radio out here. Her dad was Amiri Baraka. He was this Pan-African poet. Her mom is a white Italian. Now she put this video up. Let me play this. All right. This is Dominique DePrima. All these people coming into our reparations conversation. Listen to this.
Reparations should be for all people of African descent. To say that it can only be for the descendants of enslaved Africans who can prove as much is saying that most Black people don't deserve reparation for 12 generations of our ancestors who worked without pay. And it's just.
So this woman he's playing clearly, he's about to tell us, you would find out she is not even African. But somehow, because now, white supremacy is dead, right? It seems that white supremacy don't exist. The energy is towards Africans and other Blacks. They are the supremacists. They are the bad ones. So, that's what you see happening. But let's go.
Ludicrous.
Who is she talking about? Wait. What other ancestors work without pay who were not FBA? Who is she talking about? That lost me. Who is she talking about? What other Black people besides foundational Black Americans work without pay? Who is she talking about? Who in the hell is she talking about? Hold on. I don't know who she's talking about. Hold on.
Without pay. And it's just ludicrous. Most of us don't have paperwork proving that we were enslaved or that.
Oh, yes, we do. Don't speak for us. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do have paperwork. And it takes us about an hour to find our names on the census programs. Oh, we got paperwork, sweetie. Yes, we do. We got the paperwork. Don't speak for us. These people come around us talking about what we don't have. No, we got our paperwork. We got our goddamn paperwork. Don't speak for us. This is why I said a lot of these non-FBA people, they can't speak for us, man. Or people with dual allegiances, they cannot be our representatives. They sit up here lying and misrepresenting us. I can trace my stuff back, dude. I can trace my stuff back.
So if this man, if he's sure of what he's saying, why would he even care about what this woman is saying? Why would he even care? Just go, voice it where it matters and show this proof that you speak of. In America, how many Black people are walking around who don't even know who their father is? You think those people are gonna even know, have that paperwork? Like directly. There's tons of people in America, Blacks, walking around. They don't know who their father is. So those people are going to be able to tell you who their great-great-grandfather is. Okay, let's see how many will be able to do this.
Plantations. And most of y'all FBAs can do it too. Don't speak for us. I can trace mine back, sweetie. I can trace mine back. Hold on.
Proving that we were enslaved or that our great-grandparents or great-great-grandparents were enslaved, that's actually part of the condition of our enslavement. So to hinge whether or not we will see restitution to paperwork that was literally prohibited under our enslavement, and in scenarios where many times people fleeing enslavement or escaping into freedom or even buying their freedom had to change their names and hide their paper trails in order to ensure their very survival, well, it's just ludicrous. It's creating a situation where reparations.
So guys, don't forget that Tariq is also Aborigine to this land. So now, at this point, he is speaking as an African. But watch, he is gonna catch himself. You would see he would catch himself in a quagmire, in a lie, and I would point it out because see the people that follow him and swallow things, they are in their feelings. They're in their feelings. So anything goes. It doesn't have to make sense. As long as it sounds good, to cater to their hate, they love it. They love it. Hate sells in America, whether you believe it or not. This is why most of you, if you notice, for you to be friends with a Black person in America, most of them, you have to fake it. Because their requirement is you gotta hate white people. That is the weirdest thing ever. Literally, so you're telling me you have hate towards someone. Now I gotta hate that person when I don't believe in hatred. So most Africans, you play along. Think about it. You break your principles to hear somebody coming constantly gossiping to you about how evil another human being is. For most of us, especially our culture and our religions, this is forbidden. That person is tarnishing your spirit, your good spirit. But they you also gotta pretend and, oh yeah, these white people, this and that, which is evil. That is taking you down. You know this. In our cultures and our religions, we don't do that. Especially hating other human beings. But now you got to pretend and listen to somebody's evil. You know that what this person is saying is evil, because if somebody says it about that same person, I would say the same thing. Simply, if you feel like that about the person, go say it to them. I don't have to feel that way. I do not have to feel that way, because that's not my experience. I believe in love. I even love my enemies. Plain and simple. But this is why when I say there's no such thing as racism, people are like, oh, Afridamus lost his mind. I like to call it exactly for what it is. It is hate. Yesterday I was in a stream, a Dr. Kaiser's stream. You guys should, sign up there. He puts on good stream. And I met, there were a couple of blacks, there were Africans. You know how they come together in this fake kumbaya, they all Pan-Africans. But you see, I speak the truth. When I come around, problem starts. You guys remember Niger, the #1 Pan-African. Straight cut in his, because when you're around these people, because they are united based in lies, again, because their principles is not as strong. They just fake things because it's not true. They just keep lying to each other. Bature, thank you for the £8.99. Thank you for contributing to the Afridamasville Fund. Thank you very much. So I came in and there was an Ethiopian guy on the panel and a Kenyan guy. I didn't know what happened, but these people seemed to be they got really upset. So everything that they accuse white people of, especially you guys remember Niger. So when it comes to me, even though I'm black like them, from West Africa like them, everything went. The guy called me a monkey. You guys remember, these people pretend. They always pretend like it's racist if they hear somebody say to any black person that they're a monkey. But the guy called me a monkey and they were okay with it. And I said, guys, blacks, are you hearing this? It was this Ethiopian guy, right? Tunai's like, no, he's not talking about all Africans. He's talking about you. I was like, oh, I'm glad we cleared that. So next time you guys see these people come and acting all outraged to say something happened to some black person now or African, now all of a sudden it's all of them, give them the middle finger. They are nothing but hypocrites. Tell them to kick rocks. These guys are straight up hypocrites. So when it comes to me, everything goes. There's no more racism because they are united in hate. I'm not about that hate. So it's okay to do it to me. And no big deal. I didn't care. This man, this Ethiopian man, was so upset at the things I was saying. He threatened to put a bullet in the middle of my forehead if he ever sees me. And Tunaja and the crew, they were just there. Okay. And he ran interference while he ran interference to try to muddy the water so we don't hear clearly what this man is saying. I'm just saying to you that you are not going to get the truth, just going along. Look, I don't care about who hates my guts. Like I told these people, tell me one lie I have told. One lie. They couldn't. So if these people are uniting on lies, how much truth do you think they are telling you? They are not. You guys are deceiving each other, talking about let's uniting based in lies. And then their next step was the blacks were upset because they wanted me to hate a white man. We cannot believe you allow a white man to come and talk here. You guys don't allow Africans to talk on your channels. You see how hypocritical these people are? These people run around, they talk about they want freedom of speech, equality. When they say equality, they mean they want to be able to treat people, any kind of way. These people are not fair. What are you afraid of? I'm not afraid of talking to any human being. You can disagree with me, But to say that, oh no, the person is white just because the person disagrees, it's like you are at the playground playing, and then this kid comes, he can play better than you. Now you're like, I hate this kid. Now, if you don't hate this kid, then we are not friends. Guess what? We are not friends because I'm not a teenage girl. This is what teenage girls do. And these men had the audacity to say this in public, lacking self-awareness. It blew my mind because you are saying you want another man to stand up for you. You can stand for yourself. What you're showing is you're showing weakness, and eventually they ran. But let's continue here on Tariq. I wanted to give you a little spill of what the fake Pan-Africans are up to.
Will be nothing more than a mockery.
Oh, ma'am, stop it. Come on with these old jive-ass straw man arguments, man. That's a cop-out. Don't speak for us. Ma'am, you got dual allegiances. Your mama's Italian. This ain't for you. Your dad was a Pan-Africanist. All of that. You got dual allegiances. You can't represent us. These people got these allegiances to these other groups. She got her mama's name and not her dad's last name, so she has more of a camaraderie with Italy. So you can't speak.
So this woman is not even from Africa. So he's making it sound like, oh, he has his mama's last name. Come on now, really? In America, especially in Black America, nowadays, that's common. Even the women, you see women in America, they get married, they hyphenate their name. A lot of these kids, especially the people who have Moorish situations, the woman would say, this is my child. You ain't got no power. All you got to do is pay child support. That little Ray, gets his mama's last name. So as he goes, he is ruining their own case because everything he is blocking and fighting against, that would eliminate majority of the people he thinks are supposed to receive this quote unquote, reparation. What if they all of a sudden now make that a criteria? That would be a problem, but he doesn't even know.
Speak for us. No, ma'am. You can't speak for us. No. Do not speak for us. Who is this? Hold on. Sorry about this. Hold on, guys. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
So he hasn't made his case yet.
Okay.
He hasn't made his case.
All right, listen. And y'all, let me know if I go on too long because I got to start getting dressed by like 5:30 my time so I can go with my mom. She doesn't have her dad's last name, which shows some funny style issues going on. There's some funny style stuff going on here. I don't want nobody representing us, man, and you ain't full FBA. You can't be our representative. We, as foundational Black Americans, we understand where our lineage is. If we can trace back to those censuses, we are going to get reparations. Those are the people that deserve reparations. Missed me with all that we don't know. And I don't know how we're going to find that out. It ain't that hard. It's not that hard at all. It's not that hard at all, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the thing. Since people want to keep jumping into our conversations about reparations, and every time we talk about reparations, we always get all of this. We got to have a study. Did y'all see? There was some footage of Clyburn. Somebody asked Clyburn about reparations. Clyburn, why you keep fucking with me about doing reparations? Lord.
So you understand, the people he has complained about is their own elected Black officials, because this study for reparation, that's from the Senate or Congress doing that. I've heard a senator, Senator Booker from New Jersey, saying they need to do a study on this reparation thing. Clyburn is a U.S. House of Rep too. So these are your representatives, like your government people. So this has nothing to do with any African. He hasn't proven anything yet, right? He is just upset that other people he feels are not FBA, which is his group, his organization he put together, if they don't pay allegiance to him, then they are not authentic Americans. So he is talking about that beef. But we'll keep listening and see if he makes his case. If he makes his case about African countries owing them reparation. Because you see, reparation is a two-way thing. Are these people, we got to go dig them back and see if they're sorry for the trade. How are you going to come ask me or somebody who hasn't done anything and say, oh, are you sorry for slavery? I've never owned a slave. Why would I be sorry? I don't know anybody that's even owned a slave. Why would I be sorry about something I know nothing about? You know? So that would mean you are implying that everybody, every West African, all the way to South, you would hear him. Every African pretty much, was a slave trader, according to them. But let's go.
Mercy. We got HR 40 out there and had HR 40 out there for 30-some years, right? He started talking about HR 40 and all this old stuff. But look, we're not trying to hear studies for reparations. We need dollar amounts right now. We're not doing no more studies. We're not doing no more stalling tactics. Warnock got put on the front street. Then he started talking about universal programs. Good. Y'all keep putting these politicians on front street when it comes to reparations. Keep putting them on front street. They're not going to negate the reparations conversation, and they're not going to twist it into some universal policy that helps everybody. We ain't doing that no more. Every time it comes to us, it has to be black and brown, black and LGBT, black and universal. We're not doing that. When it comes to other groups getting reparations.
That's because blacks are being played by the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party owes all these groups, and they are slow working it, diluting your group until you no longer have voting power. Then whatever you say, they could care less about hearing it. If look, statistically, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense for an entire group to vote, over 80% at the high 80s for one party and still not getting anything. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. So the only person you can get mad at is yourself. You backed the wrong horse. The only person you can be mad at is yourself. For example, if candidates that talk about reparation, right? And I don't believe in reparation. And I don't vote for those candidates. I vote for different candidate. If this candidate who was talking about reparation, they eventually wins, this person wins, and they implement it, I'm not going to be mad. That's what they campaign on. But I would feel good that I did not vote for that agenda. It's like the gay marriage thing. It passed, but there are tons of people who don't believe in it. At least their conscience is clear. If that's not what they want, they did not vote for it. Even if it won, cool. But at least their principle is intact. But not the case here. Tariq wants blacks to be mad at everybody who does not even believe in these politicians, people who don't even believe in what these people are campaigning on. How are you going to hold somebody accountable for something they rejected? It's America. People have the right to reject what they don't want. Plain and simple, just like he does and many other black people do. Freedom of choice.
It's all about dollar signs right here. Look at this story here. This just came out this week. For Hawaiians, lawmakers approved $600 million to help fix housing program for Native Hawaiians. State legislators passed a landmark legislation to help buoy a long-trouble program for making reparations to Native Hawaiians. All right, so Hawaiians, they hit you with a number. When it comes to other groups, the first thing you see is a damn dollar sign. When it comes to everybody else, when it talks about compensating them, you see dollar signs first. Ain't no study, ain't no committee, ain't none of this stuff. They try to confuse and muddy the
I gotta give it to Tariq though. Guys, Tariq, he is receiving his reparation. He is. I bet you he's sitting there going like, these goofballs think I really believe. I'm gonna wait for a check. No, they about to give me this check. They have to donate to the museum. That's why, you know, if you're watching here, make sure you donate to the Afridamasville project. Don't forget, hit the Cash App or the super chat. You know, if you believe in this great work, this great service that I'm doing here, you know, I'm doing the research, bringing you the knowledge that you need to, you know, receive. Thank you in advance.
Waters, when it comes to us, we got to stop that. We're talking about foundational Black Americans, us, foundational Black Americans. We are the ones who's going to get reparations, not these other groups trying to muddy the water. Not only are they not going to get reparations, they owe. And since they want to keep interjecting themselves in the conversation, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to say, okay, if you want to come sit down, okay, you sit down too, because we got a bill for your ass. We got a bill for you too, Babatunde.
So African names, they got to create funny sounds. Every African is Babatunde, some Nigerian. It's always a Nigerian name. So if you talk about reparation, they got a bill for you too. Tariq is a comedian. He is really a comedian. But some of his people believe it, but I don't think Tariq himself believed this. He's just giving them comedy at this point. This reparation thing have turned into comedy. Would you guys agree with me? Because it's like, make up your mind. Who do you think owe you? You can't even make up your mind. You can't even make up your mind about your own identity. How are the white people or the Africans? Because, you know, now we are at the white people level. Pretty soon we would be the African supremacists. Because once the blacks ask you for reparation, that means they're accepting your superiority. That's why they're asking the whites. I told you guys this was coming. So you guys didn't believe me, but you're seeing it.
Since y'all want to sit up here and get in our mix about who should get something because y'all want to get paid on the front end and the back end, you owe too. Let's get down to it. Some of these African countries, y'all owe for reparations as well, if we want to get down to the nitty-gritty of this thing. Where y'all at? Y'all hop on in here. Let me holler at you for a second, since so many of you non-FBAs want to interject yourself in the conversation. Okay, sit that ass down and let me show you this bill I got for you. Because you guys have been exploiting foundational Black Americans for the last 500 years. Many of you, not all, but many of your communities, if we're going to be real.
So Africans have been exploiting FBA that was formed in 2021 for 500 years. Let's hear him tell us how many of them have been doing this.
You've been exploiting foundational Black Americans. Now, let's be clear. Only a small percentage of people taken from Africa were brought here to North America. But let's talk about that percentage, since you guys want to just make a big...
So now he caught himself. He corrected himself, because, you know, if you are making up stories as you go, you have to try hard to remember. As you remember, you got to fix things. He put emphasis on the African thing. Then he remembered, I'm guessing, that he said they are not from Africa. They've sold that story. So now he has to say a small number. So now that will mean we would have to discuss who these numbers are and how we're going to separate it. Because you see, us Africans, we do not want to pay reparation to people who do not come from our shores. If they were already here, I mean, that saves us. But now that they are all mixed in, you know, the blacks who were here, according to you, and the Africans, they are mixed in. I mean, we don't want to claim all of you. We can't do that. You see? There's no way the Africans will accept this. Because now the blacks who were here originally, they are going to try to trick the Africans and say, you sold our people, but this whole time, you guys are from America. You see the problem here? But let's let him, tell it, because this is the African side. I would think they would put this argument forward because we have evidence of Tariq telling us, even right now, that they are not from Africa. So we would have a hard time trying to separate which ones came from Africa and the ones that didn't.
Deal out of it, and you guys make money off of selling us to the Portuguese and the Spanish and the British and all of these people. Y'all make a big deal of it and sometimes even brag on it. Get it? Hold on. Sometimes y'all even brag about it. The New Yorker had this story a couple of years ago. Y'all remember? Y'all remember this story? My great-grandfather, the Nigerian slave trader. All right? So they were talking about how the Igbo were selling slaves and all of that stuff. So some people even...
So someone writes an article about how Igbos were, where she come from, they were selling slaves. Obviously, the slave traders or the slaves, they are related to people. They have family members. This, the line continued. So if someone writes about their tribe or their, because this is where the disconnect is. Because Black Americans, majority, they've been socialized in this liberal American system where they try to get the upper hand by trying to use shaming tactics on people. They think this woman should be ashamed. She's telling you what her long grandfather, they were slave traders. That doesn't mean she approve of it or not approve of it. She's just telling a story that happened. So if you want to shame somebody for telling a story that happened, then you're the silly one. Maybe you might want to just read the article and get some knowledge from it and understanding. But it's always, I got to shame that person. Okay. The person that wrote this article, do you think she was the slave trader? She is telling a story just like you tell stories about hidden color. Remember 1804? These are stories you're telling. She's telling us the same thing.
That tradition and the information is passed down. They know what they did. These people know what the hell they did. They almost brag about it to a certain degree. Some of the same people that worked out deals with these white supremacists to sell Black folks, they still have that same sellout ass mentality. Oh, no. I see some tethers in the room. Stop these TVs, young nigga. No, we need to divide because we got too many tethers in here interjecting themselves in our conversation. We keep telling you, get out of our reparations conversation. No, nigga, we're all Black people. We need to be in that too. You're being
So you guys remember yesterday when I was saying they're the ones, they make fun of African people's accent or Jamaicans. You guys remember this? Now you're seeing the proof that it was hypocritical for some of them that pretended to be mad about Chet Hanks doing the Jamaican patois accent. The jealousy for white men, they had to hate it. But they make fun of these accents. People with these accents, they try to make you feel bad about having this accent, which is silly. How do you expect somebody who was born in another land to come and sound just like you? How ignorant is that? But hey, common sense is not so common with most people in America.
Hey man, we keep telling you, hey man, why don't you sit down, Umbute? We're talking about a claim specific for us. This ain't about you. No, this is about me too, nigga. I want to be in the conversation too. All right, well, come sit down because you got a bill. We got a bill for you too, nigga. Since you insist. All right, since you want to interject yourself in the conversation, we got something for you too. Let's keep it real. Y'all been exploiting foundational Black Americans for the last 500 years. Too many of you. Even now over there, you sold some of us, made the money, and the deal you got was crappy. And then the same people that you thought you were in cahoots with turned around and colonized you. So now a lot of people are saying, because this is a conversation we've started. So a lot of people are like, well, we don't have any money. How are you going to get reparations from us? We don't have no money. But look, you made a janky deal You didn't manage your little finesse bag good enough. The people that you thought you had a partner in crime, and then they turned on you. That's what happened when you do crimes. Sometimes the criminals that you work with will turn on you too.
Tariq, is it possible that the commodities that these people were trading for, they were just consumer goods? They got consumed? What do you mean? You see, he is painting a scenario. It's like it's like some drug dealers, some drug dealers on their block. This is a comedy show. Some drug dealer comes and he made a bad deal with some white man, and then he just didn't manage the money right. Like as if there were people hanging out on the beach side on some African country, who conspired against the people, against the blacks, because according to him, that's all black people. This is before they were black, mind you. Let's remember, let's get it right. The people who were sold, they were Africans. This is before they became black, as we know it to be. They were from tribes, different tribes. So they sold them. They conspired with the whites. They got their bag, as he's saying. They finessed the bag, and they mismanaged it. So now they are crying. So the Africans don't have money then. How do you gonna get this money? They mismanaged it. It's no longer there.
So don't come crying to us now that your criminal enterprise backfired on your ass. All right? Some of y'all gonna have to cough up some funds too, since you insist on getting in the conversation. Some of you are gonna have to cough up some dough after we deal with this white supremacist, because we're not gonna keep our eyes off the white supremacists. Let's be clear. We are laser focused on the white supremacists. But since y'all insist on getting in the conversation, when we're done getting our paper from him, we're going to start looking at some of them books that y'all like bragging about, some of those ledgers that y'all like bragging about, that y'all got parked in some of those museums and slave castles over there. Oh, yeah, since y'all insist. All right, since y'all making the big deal, y'all should have just sat by the sidelines and been cheerleading us. But no, since y'all want to pinch off a little something for yourself, we need to open up those books. Y'all got that Elmina Castle stuff going on over there, where y'all still make money off foundational Black Americans to this day. Black people, foundational Black Americans still have.
So his Elmina Castle, that's in Ghana. So we're about to find, does Ghana owe them reparation? I think if any society apologize, then you owe. That means you're sorry for the trade. I don't know why they're apologizing for an error where they were not even there. The people that you think did that, they're the only one that can say if they are sorry or not. That's between them and their maker. It's not for us to decide. That's how I see it, and that's the truth. No man can make another man whole. Only God can do that for you. It's not material. It's a spiritual issue. That's what you're seeing.
This place, sentimentality to Africa, this longing to connect with Mama Africa, and Black folks go over there spending money, going to those museums where y'all make money today, going to Elmina Castle, where y'all make money damn near solely off us, going over there spending all that money. And let me tell you something, I've never had a desire to go to Elmina Castle. Never had a desire to go there. Going to the door of no return, y'all go and play that up heavily over there. Y'all play that door of no return. Y'all go there and just be all dramatic. What happened here? The tour guide, what happened here? These slaves were put in the dungeons. And here at the door of no return, they looked at Mama Africa for one last time. Y'all really sell it up and get y'all little chips. Reenact.
This guy is a comedian. This guy is a comedian. The people that go to the slave castle, now he's making fun of the Ghanaians, making money off of them. You guys remember I said this before, right? I said, if they had the slave enterprise in Ghana, so Ghana is double dipping. They sold the people off, and now they're making money back for their return. It's good business if you look at it. I mean, only if you're the one who's on the other end of it, but they planned it well. In fact, here is a chief, a Ghanaian chief, apologizing for slavery. Let's see if his apology is sincere.
We are very privileged to be with you, particularly our brothers and sisters from the Caribbean and the diaspora.
See, they had to tell him underneath it was for the Caribbeans. But here's the chief apologizing.
And people from all over Africa, our brothers and sisters from all.
Okay, please, somebody tell this Ghanaian chief, do not bring all of Africa into this. This has nothing to do with all of Africa. Elmina Castle is not in all of Africa. It's in Ghana. So please, make sure you leave this problem right where it is. You know, saying all of Africa. This is not all of Africa. Please, don't do that.
All over Africa. I wish at this point to particularly to apologize deeply on behalf of the chiefs and people of Gold Coast and Ghana for the atrocities, the cruelty, the inhuman treatment that were committed 400 years ago by my ancestors during the Atlantic slave trade.
So guys, here's a guy, like I said, he's a chief. He is directly descended from the people that benefited, that sold those people and benefited. But he's apologizing. So maybe Tariq can talk to this man about reparation, but it cannot be all of Africa. This chief is apologizing to you because he wants you to come to Elmina Castle. That's all. Well, let's let him tell us, you know, his story.
Where over 400 years ago, millions of our brothers and sisters were captured, sold, and transported under inhumane and cruel circumstances.
Sir, these people did not see each other as brothers and sisters. Let's not, guys, let's just tell the story as it is. If they saw each other that way, those people wouldn't be sold off. Let's just keep it real. It's just stranger to stranger. And at times, the criminals are sent too.
Through Elmina Castle, across to the Caribbean and to the New World. On behalf of the chiefs and people of Ghana, I do render unqualified apology, deep from the bottom of our hearts. Deep from our bottom of our hearts. But one thing that I want you to be aware of, it was not without resistance. Some of our chiefs did fought and resisted. Some of our people did fought and resisted. But we are fighting a losing battle against a stronger army. People with guns, and we had no guns.
All right, let me prove this chief to be wrong. He's not telling them the whole truth, okay? He's not telling the whole truth. Here, let me show you this. Let me show you this here real quick. Give me one moment here. Oh, guys, give me just a sec. Let me pull this up for. Okay, here. Sorry, guys. Guys, are you seeing this on the screen? Are you seeing this on the screen right here? You know, the chief said they didn't have guns, right? Let me show you what the Ashanti army during those times was like. You see this? They in fact have a gun culture. You see this here? You think they fought the English with spears? They had guns. You see here? Yeah, I don't believe that they had spears. They had guns. You see this? So yeah, the chief didn't make sense. They had guns. Okay? Again, that debunks this story to try to say, we were just powerless. No, the history recorded and there's pictures to show. Not only did these people have guns, they had it was a gun culture. That's what they needed to sell the people for in exchange for guns. Gun was one of the product, was one of the things they needed. Our movement, according to a West Africa report, the Ghanaian institution was composed of some 32,000 chiefs. This chief can only speak for himself. Exactly. So those of you that are talking about reparation, you see the example, 32,000 chiefs. Do you know how many of those chiefs were on that coast? It was a ton of them. By the way, if you notice, he said the Caribbean. He's talking about the Caribbean, not the blacks. Most of the blacks are not from Ghana. Their ancestors are not from Ghana. They are from Nigeria. Nigeria. This explains why the underlying beef is with the Nigerians. But we would see if the Nigerians know how the game is played. You are not about to see any Nigerian Igwe making such a statement. Apologizing for what? Slavery? They know what follows after that. They're not going to make such statement. But the Ghanaians will, and they did. Let's let Tariq continue. But Chief was wrong. Maybe his section didn't have guns, but plenty of those tribes, especially the Ashantis, they had guns. Plenty of them too.
The atrocities that y'all helped put in place, by the way, you did, and that y'all make money off of for the descendants of that. I've had no desire to go to Elmina Castle. None. I've always thought, okay, that castle, y'all niggas was in cahoots with the Portuguese. Y'all were in cahoots with their asses. You understand? Come on now.
Guys, did you remember how even in Pan-Africanists, including Tariq, you guys remember when they said they wanted to just come and do business with Africa? And I said, these people don't have any business skills. And people were like, oh man, quit being a hater. Now look at how far the topic has fallen from way. It's no longer business. They want free stuff from Africa. They're saying you owe them. They're saying you owe them just like the white people. You see how the reparation thing is becoming a joke? How can Tariq seriously believe he can come online and make such a great comedy and don't expect people to participate? People have to participate in this comedy. That's the truth. If your feelings are hurt by it, you need to grow up. That's all I can say.
Y'all make a gang of money. We go over there, and then what happens is they overcharge foundational Black Americans for stuff. They see us, the whites and the Asians, can go over there and get stuff for damn near free. They give stuff away to them. We go over there.
They give stuff to Asians and whites for free in Africa. Okay. Africans, are you guys hearing how ridiculous these guys are? Look, I'm just telling you, this is what they want you to go along with, because most black people talk like him. He's telling you their narrative. These things are not true, but they will try to argue with you about it. They want to bring you into silly conversations like this. The focus is white. Like, you're going, okay, if they give some white person free stuff, I don't care. I mean, he's lucky he's got it. I could care less. Why would I care that he got it for free? Good for him. But again, that's that jealousy. If you complain, oh, the person got it free, I gotta get free too. That's jealousy.
There, us, they overcharge us for everything over there. Oh, we're a big bag for them, dude. And then they have these tourist traps, which the year of return, I have no desire to go there either. Many people have asked me to go there. I really have no desire to go there. I'm not trying to go there and spend no more money unless it's going to be reciprocal. Unless we're going to set up shop, set up business, and do reciprocal business. I'm not just going to come over there keep.
But you see, nobody's stopping you and any black person from going to Africa and setting up shop and creating business. In fact, the Africans are like, come on down. Let's do business. That's what the Chinese and the whites that you're looking at, the Indians, most of them, that's what they're there for. That's what they are doing. Who do you think the people will receive? The man that is coming to create businesses and create employment and improve. Who do you think the people will receive more? Him or the one that is fabricating this make-believe story that you need to give them free stuff? You be like, man, you better move away. You better stay wherever you at with that free stuff mentality. We don't play that over here. But this makes sense to his viewers because they believe in free. That's what they believe in.
Popping money. You understand? So they got that year of return. Oh, everybody come over here to Ghana. Come over here. Spend your money at the entertainment festivals and at all our hotels. Come drop your money off and then go home. Because we're not going to offer no real dual citizenship in large numbers. We're not going to allocate no land. That's the least you can do. If all of that we all won and year of return stuff, if I return, give me some free damn land. And even the black people buying land over there, there were some sisters over there that got killed.
Do you guys hear this? He wants free land. There is many of them that are of that school. He is always talked about he wanted free land. Free, free, free. So even those of us that are born on African soil, we don't get free land. You want to get free land? If you're African, that's not the reason to get a free land. The Africans, us, we buy the land. If you don't inherit a land or two, you got to buy it. But this man, mind you, have received money for donation in, I guess, 1 million, I've heard, or plus. He can buy land in any of those countries, but he still wants free.
Killed by some of the damn natives there. There's some sisters from Detroit, if y'all remember, who got killed after they bought some land over there. Some of those hating ass natives killed them. Come on, man. Niggas owe. You owe too. And we've been talking about this on social media for the last few days. And now everybody's kind of pointing the finger at each other. Well, it's West Africa who owe. No, it is Central Africa who owe. No, it's Ghana who owes. No, it's Nigeria who owes. Africa is not one big monolithic country. Oh, no, we can go down the list. There's a whole bunch of y'all. Oh, it's a whole bunch that participated. Yeah, we can get on Ghana, the people, which is, and a lot of these countries are new countries, by the way. But again, those tribal groups were still there. But yeah, Ghana, we can holler at Ghana. We can holler at Nigeria. It's Mozambique, because some of I got some ancestry that traces back to Mozambique somewhere. We can go over to Zanzibar. The people were brought over from.
So he's he's from Mozambique. I hope Diego mate, you're still watching. Diego mate, here's one of your brethren from Mozambique. Okay, he's got Mozambique in him. This is funny. So Tariq, I would like to see him go talk to, the people of Mozambique, and especially who I'm interested in, the Nigerians. Go talk to the Nigerians about this. They will say, look at this Akata talking about he want money. We Nigerians, we don't live in the past, or we live in the present. That's what they will tell you. But he wants to. He's from Mozambique. This is new information. I didn't know this one. So he's getting himself closer and closer to South Africa. But let's hear him tell us more of the countries.
Zanzibar, East Africa too. Don't make it just seem like it was West Africa. Let's be clear. East Africa, man, please. They were heavy in the slave trade over there too. Over there in Zanzibar and Tanzania, Tipu Tip, that was a black Arab. He was half Arab, half black African. He was black as hell. He was a major slave trader over there. I went to Zanzibar and seen all the stuff that he did. Yeah, Tipu Tip. It was a wealthy black slave owner over there. Angola, they had a lot of people they were putting over there down in Brazil. Oh yeah, a lot of them. A lot of them. Kenya, Liberia, Cameroon. Oh, a lot of
guys. You see, all over Africa. Even though he's not mentioning the blacks that went to Liberia and colonized the people there and pretty much enslaved them, and they deny that. But now those, you see, the Liberians should ask for reparation. But now he's naming all these places: Angola, Mozambique. He's talking about Tipu Tip, Zanzibar. Those slaves did not come to America. It wasn't the, I believe that was between them and the Arabs and India. So I don't think those people were related to you. But maybe Mozambique, I guess, he said he's from there. Diego, there goes your brother.
Oh, a lot of those niggas was over there working with these white supremacists, and the deal flipped on them. Yeah, I don't want to hear y'all crying broke now. Oh, how are you going to get reparations from us? We have no money. We're poor. We're poor now. Oh, you still can break bread somehow. No, you can still break bread. No, you just mismanage your finesse bag. You mismanage your finesse bag, fam. Just because you mismanage the bag doesn't mean you don't still owe. Let's keep it a buck. It's just like people.
So guys, you guys have heard Tariq admitted being African, right? He's no longer Aborigine. So I hope his followers, you guys, now we've put this to rest. He just let us know he's African, not Aborigine. So now we're no longer confused. Who knows? But he just admitted to being African, according to Tariq. Here we go.
People who get some renter center furniture. You rent some furniture, you get some rent-to-own furniture at some high interest rate with $10 down and $30 a month or whatever, and then you fall back on your payment, and then they go to repossess the furniture, and then you start copping pleas. Come on, man. My money is kind of funny right now, man. I ain't got it. They're going to still come repossess that furniture. Just because you're falling on hard times don't mean you don't still owe. That doesn't mean you don't still owe. You know? Y'all gonna have to come off that bag if you want to get in the conversation. Y'all gonna have to come off that bag because y'all come over here and eat off us every chance you get. Y'all come over and eat off us. Not only do you eat off us, your countries and your kingdoms made money selling us, and they fumbled the bag. Then they got colonized, and then they start looking to the people they helped displace for help. Every time something happens to y'all talk all of this stuff about how powerful your kingdoms are and all of this stuff, and then y'all brag about the white man. We do these Twitter spaces where they're bragging, we don't need you, FBA. It is the white man who is helping us. The white man help us, not you niggas. It is the white man who helped bring me here. You niggas are nothing. The white man gives me everything. Understanding it was us who fought the white man to help you get something. The reason you're over here, remember, the white man didn't want you here. They weren't letting black Africans immigrate over here.
That is not true. You see, they like to spread that lie. It's fake. It's not true. Because you see how he flip-flops. What would be in the interest of the blacks? who said they were oppressed to fight a white man to bring Africans here. They know nothing about Africans. What would be in their interest for doing that? It makes no sense. There's no type of any advantage for them to do that. So that would mean if you say you have so much power, in the 60s, you guys were fighting the white man because you guys said it was Jim Crow, right? The white man segregated you, you were oppressed. When did you have the time to fight for your freedoms and conquer so much in the 60s and then twist the white man's arm and say, hey, look here now, sir. We want you to bring Africans here. Well, the white man didn't listen quite much because they haven't allowed enough Africans in. You guys need to fight harder because any black person, any American, black, white, blue, green, as long as they can afford a ticket and have a passport, they can fly into African countries. They literally can. But now, can Africans do that? Most of our countries, Africans, in fact, they are paying. They are paying, they're paying visa fees. They're not getting visas. Do you know how hard it is for an African from Africa, most African countries for people to come to America? It is hard. So you guys didn't fight enough. Still in America, there's like, from African countries, I think it's like about 3 million Africans in total. And this is not just Black Africa, because, Africa has like 1 billion plus people, 200 million of that are non-Black, non-dark skin. So various different African countries, there's about 3 million. So there's very few Africans that come to America. If you look at the number, out of 1 billion, and you have like, 3 million? That's not much. So you guys need to, talk to Massa some more, because I don't know. I mean, they didn't take you guys serious because they're not letting people in. The people are over there queuing up, playing the green card lottery. They are paying at the embassy. They're not getting visas. So I don't know what kind of janky deal the blacks did with the whites, but it's not working for the Africans. Maybe Africans, you might want to shift to a different group. He said Africans look to the blacks for help. That's not something I'm familiar with. Are you? Because that's not even a thing. It might be a thing for some people, but all I hear usually is, oh, y'all Africans don't come join us. It's usually the African, mind you. You said you help the African. The African came on your own territory, your own soil. You're born and raised here. You're supposed to be the one paving the way, but you want the African to fight for you. Like yesterday, those guys, they want you to stand up for them. So constantly, it's other people having to fight for you. So how did you manage to fight for me without securing yourself? That doesn't make sense. But let Tariq tell it. Let's go.
In large numbers, it was foundational Black Americans fighting him to allow you over here. So we done fought him. We done got bloodied and bruised up to help get you here. Then you sit over here bragging about what he did for you. But when they start whooping your ass over in Europe, like they're doing in the Ukraine and Poland, you ain't calling for the white man. You notice that? The minute you start getting smacked around, all of a sudden you're calling for every FBA you can find. Hello, this is Babatunde. I'm in Ukraine right now. Is Beyonce available? Is Oprah Winfrey anywhere to be found? Where's MC Hammer?
So you think Africans, because you guys have been showing, Africans are seen, like you guys said, blacks getting shot by police because you said racism, right? Beyonce, Oprah, all these people you are naming, clearly we could see they couldn't do anything. Why would any African call to them from Ukraine to come and save them? His jokes are stale, but that's Tariq for you. He is entertaining his people. They find this entertaining.
What? We need some FBA niggas. What about Boys to Men? Anyone, we need you. Y'all start calling for FBA. You ain't calling for white folks, because the white folks are tearing your ass up back over there in Europe. They bopping your damn head in. Y'all always calling for us when you get in trouble. Where that white man at? Where the white man y'all love bragging about? Where's the white man you brag about? Yeah, you know who puts in the damn work. Come on. Don't talk greasy. Yeah, you old now. Now, since y'all want to talk so greasy and do all of this babbling, we didn't help you. Every time you get in trouble, y'all calling for us. You come over here eating off these HBCUs. You don't come over here building yourself up. You come over here eating off what we laid out for you. You come over here and get these.
So do most African students go to this quote-unquote HBCU? First of all, most African students that would come here would be international students. You guys heard the video I played here, the Kenyan woman, Mercy artist, the one that eventually became a street worker, or some would say prostitute, when she came to America. You guys remember she told us how she is charged as an international student 3 or 4 times the fees, the tuition. Of course, the schools here, that's how they make the money. So, because, again, the people he's talking to, they believe in free. They think just because you're black, they're supposed to get free stuff. So therefore, the African students they see, there's no way they're paying. Somebody has to be giving them free stuff. And they like to throw HBCUs. How many Africans from African countries come to quote-unquote HBCUs? Many go to school in places that doesn't even have that much black presence. Let's just keep it real. That's why when you go to these remote towns, remote colleges, when you see blacks there, they are African for the most part.
Minority programs that we fought for you, these HBCU programs, these scholarships and grants that we didn't fought for, we put in that work for you to come over here and eat off of it. And then, well, you niggas are going to pull up by your bootstraps. If I could do it, you guys can do it. We did it for you. We did all the heavy lifting for you. You just came and pulled up a plate. Yeah, you owe. Yeah, you owe for these programs that you eat off of. Yeah, you owe.
So Africans owe. It's not for slavery. Africans owe because they are smarter. Is that what this is? You mentioned in scholarships. Scholarships is based off of, it could be academic or it could be sports. Who gets more scholarship than blacks here? Let's be real. Most of the athletes are black. Affirmative action. A lot of, the females, the black females get that. For you to be qualified for this, you have to be a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. So that would imply that that means what he's saying. He is saying that majority of Africans that come here are already citizens, which we know that's not true. If you're not a citizen, how can you access these things that he's talking about? You are not qualified. You can't even apply because you got to fill out the citizen section. So these people just say things, they don't even know the laws of their own country. You can't just walk into an office and say, oh, I'm black, give me this. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I got me and mom, we good. I ain't gonna be on too long. I got to get dressed, go out with mom and the family. But man, these folks sit up here calling us all types of akadas and jareers and abids and all of this stuff. And let me show y'all something. This was something I posted earlier. Hold on, another thing right here. And when
I'm surprised they didn't he didn't throw in Somalia, to say Somalia owes reparation, but it's coming. He's using the word Jarir. That means the Somalis might owe reparation for Jarir. Watch.
start talking about what they owe, they start talking about that Mama Africa stuff right here. This woman, she's African. She's somewhere from over there. What a mother can owe to her children is the belonging to herself and parenting. Africa does not owe reparations to Black Americans. Africa owe them an easy pathway return and belonging to the land. Well, damn it, where is the damn land?
That's a Nigerian woman that wrote that. You see why he's not naming Nigeria? Nigerians have already said it. Africa do not owe Black Americans anything, just easy passage to the land. That doesn't mean free land. They'll show you the land and show you the place you want to buy. Make sure you bring that money with you. They are happy to show you land that you can buy. That's what they mean.
Y'all talk all of that BS, but y'all never offer no land. There's plenty of land. It ain't gonna stop nobody from giving land. When we ask for some land, y'all act like we talking crazy. I said that. That's the least you can do. Africa has spread out with land. None of y'all have made a movement to say, hey, let's give a parcel of land to these people. Y'all look at us like we crazy. Well, go to hell then.
Ghana gave some Blacks free land. Damn near in Gambia, you go to Kasakunda, the lands that, that woman Juliet is selling, they damn near are giving it to you guys for free. That's how cheap it is. So what else do you want? I don't get it. Free. Diego said white America is smart for not listening to these clowns. Tariq is not doing a service to them. Rasmoy said they will soon blame the Native Americans for reparations as well. Rasmoy, you're laughing, but they've already asked for it. They are already saying some of the natives enslaved Blacks. So, okay, all these people you are accusing of slavery. Okay, if they are like, okay, sure, our ancestors enslaved some people. So now what do you want? Reparation, we're not giving you anything. What are you going to do about it? That's what the white people are doing. So, which explains why now you're like, let me try the Africans. It's becoming a clown show. I mean, it's been a clown show a long time ago.
Go to damn hell. If y'all can't even do that, we good. It don't hurt nothing. In fact, we would make it pop if we had land over there to really start a real global economy and get it popping. Y'all won't even do that. Y'all talk to us and look at us like we're
you guys had Liberia. Get that popping.
Crazy for saying, hey, why don't you allocate some of this land? This land is just crawling with land. Y'all give it to the Asians at the drop of a hat and let them undermine y'all asses over there. You understand? But this woman right here, this is look at this right here. This woman right here, Uju Anaya. It's a woman named Uju Anaya. Let me show this real quickly. Now, this woman right here, she made a comment about Kevin Samuels. And hold on one second. Let me show this comment right here. All right. Now, this woman, she's an African woman who's teaching. I think she's teaching in Philadelphia. She made this comment about Kevin Samuels. She said, Kevin Samuels told men their worth was in their wallet. He died in a one-bedroom sublet with less than $1,000 to his name. No partner, friend, or offspring willing to claim him. Only his poor mother begging and borrowing to bury his loathsome carcass. And her source was media takeout. Okay. Now, let me go into this real quick. Now, number one, this is a lie. She's using media takeout as a damn source. Media takeout is a known lying ass publication. They make up stuff as they go along. It's run by a Ugandan African dude who has made.
Uganda is Africa. Uganda African. Okay, I didn't. But here's the thing. So Tariq, he's gonna use Kevin. So now people that criticize Kevin, now all of a sudden this is the one that stood out to him. Forget how Vivica Fox very well-known African-American black women, these women of all color, these feminists who are just bitter and pissed off at the man for speaking the truth, celebrating his death. These are just miserable women, as if they are not gonna die. It's funny when people celebrate someone else's death as if they will never die. That's one thing that's guaranteed. All of us will experience it. It doesn't matter however long you sit on earth, at some point you will experience it. So celebrating somebody's death, it's ridiculous. You're just fooling yourself. That's just your misery. So instead of knowing all these women who want to manipulate men or who disagree, who don't like the truth, don't like Kevin because of that. It has nothing to do with he's American or not American. Everybody calls Kevin. His show is like mine here, where all people are welcome. It's not all this black, white, green, blue. No, everybody, all people are welcome. And when all people are welcome, all people sometimes, different groups, are going to love you equally or hate you equally. It's just the spirit. But Tariq is going to flip this, even though he would be the one that want to take a shot at Kevin, but he's going to pass it through this woman. This man lives in a bubble, it sounds like. He goes on Twitter. The people he disagrees with, he brings it to his show and ascribe it to a group.
Money off exploiting foundational Black Americans, by the way. That's another thing, another reason why y'all owe. A lot of y'all come over here and start up these damn gossip sites where you exploit and lie on foundational Black Americans every single day. And y'all make money doing it. With Media Takeout, non-FBA, Shade Room, non-FBA, World Star, non-FBA, Madame Noir, non-FBA, Gossip, non-FBA, Sandra Rose, non-FBA. Y'all sit up here with all these gossip sites, almost every single top gossip site that spreads this degenerate information about foundational Black Americans are all run by immigrants.
So he's naming all the sites owned by, Black immigrants, right? So he's conceding that these people are much better at running things. So he thinks like the white people, how they shame them and say, oh, you got to get us into, this is not fair. That's what he's trying to imply here. Immigrants do not care about your cry. These people worked hard. They saw the opportunity and they are taking it. They are taking it. And by the way, the people he's calling immigrant, these people are not immigrant. Maybe their parent or their parents' parent. These are not immigrant themselves. They are born and raised in America. Mind you, if he is discounting what the Constitution says, the same Constitution that freed slaves, Black Americans became citizens in 1868 through the Constitution. So if you say scrap the Constitution, you might want to be careful about scrapping that Constitution. It might come back and bite you in the ass. St. James said, Afridamasville, Leroy Brown Jenkins is here. Thank you, Leroy. Welcome in the house, Leroy. Leroy in the house. Leroy, what do you think about this topic? Please drop your comment. Let me hear.
All of them. And they make money promoting degenerate ass behavior about us. That's another reason why you owe. Y'all sit up here and promote negative propaganda about foundational Black Americans. And y'all sit up here promoting lies left and right. Y'all lie all the time. Y'all sit up here and just lie through your damn teeth. You understand?
So these people owe, apparently, immigrants owe because they promote lies. But what is the lies they promote? What lies are they promoting? So, like, for instance, if you show people shooting at people at point blank at gas stations, blacks doing it, now that's a lie, right? You have Black people themselves, blacks, recording these things and putting it on the web, in the World Wide Web, for people to see it. And these videos or articles find their way to World Star Hip Hop, some of these sites. It's not like these people edited anything. People make their own videos, but it is these people's fault. So, for instance, playing his joke here, this comedy, and pointing out how dumb he is. Now, it is my fault to some. I'm the hater. It's my fault that this man made his show and make a fool of not just himself, he made a fool of his group. But you, me, all of us will be guilty for calling this for what it is, even though we didn't make the video.
You lie through your damn teeth. Every damn gossip site is run by a damn immigrant who put up filth about us every day. We got to start calling that out. Kevin Samuels did not have no damn $1,000. All right. That man had millions of followers on YouTube. The revenue from YouTube alone had to be worth at least $50,000 a month. Just the revenue off YouTube. Forget all the other branding that he did. Just the YouTube
See, Leroy said, Malcolm X said that Africans will come and help African American. And I'm sure that some of these people need help. Well, yes, he did say that. So most of this is cry for help. I'm beginning to see that.
Revenue had to be over $50,000 a month. Had to be. You did? Yeah, Mona Scott, all that love and hip hop stuff. Every degenerate type of behavior you see on TV is run by non-FBA people. All right? So let's be clear. That man didn't just have $1,000 to his name. Let's stop that. Yeah, there's a lot of defamation. I know the family's representative, Brother Dennis, he's calling out a lot of the misrepresentation. And RIP to Brother Kevin Samuels. People are still trying to determine the cause of death. I know some people were saying that, well, he was drinking a bunch of Red Bulls all the time. Who knows what happened? A lot of people were lying about, who the woman was that he was with. He was with some woman. From what I understand, I saw the police report. They said the woman was Native Hawaiian / Polynesian or something. So she possibly could have been a Filipino. Who knows? And who knows what the actual cause of death was? If it's my conjecture, and again, it's just conjecture. Sounds like, he met this chick and it's possible he could have popped a Viagra or something. The thing just kind of, it kind of went left.
So he started out acting like he is pissed off that this woman expressed her hate towards Kevin, right? But he acted like he's pissed off. But in the end, he's making a joke of it. Oh, he must have popped a Viagra, which is slander because you don't know. This man is dead. He cannot defend himself. But that woman is evil, right? But he's a good guy, slandering a dead man who cannot defend himself and thinking it's a joke. But that woman, she's the terror. She's evil. But for him, no problem. He can just slander him. But he thinks it's a joke.
That's what it sounds like. And I'm not saying that to disparage. Again, this is just my conjecture. Sounds like he might have popped a Viagra on that chick. And, it got the best of him. That's what it sounds like. And again, this is my conjecture. I'm not saying anything as a fact. But sound like he was smashing that chick. And that Viagra, if he took it, it took a turn on him. Again, that's not to disparage. Yeah, my voice is a little janky. Don't worry about it, guys. Come on, guys.
Yeah, not at all. It's not. You're not saying that's what happened, but you're speculating it. You started by saying this woman was messed up, just for you to slander the man, and you got it. You're like, no, I'm not slandering him, but you asked. That's the true definition of slander, because you said we don't know what the cause of death is. How about we wait and see? But no, that's the hypocritical way of doing things. And he's going to say, oh yeah, that woman is not American, but she is American by every definition. But okay.
My voice is a little janky. Yeah, I think that he done popped a pill on her. That's what it sounds like. But again, I don't know, and I'm not saying anything as a fact. Nevertheless, RIP to the brother. Nevertheless, RIP to the brother. But let me tell you something. A lot of these non-FBA tethers, they're using Kevin Samuels as a proxy for us. All of this Kevin Samuel hate.
So these women in general, so if let's say the tethers, mind you, he's calling quote unquote immigrants, black immigrants, either from Caribbean or Africa, he's calling them tethers. But they like to say, oh, these people disrespect us by calling us this and that name. That's that ego, disrespect. Once people start using those words, that's their ego talking. They think they are important. Like nobody's that important. Seriously, get over yourselves. You are not that important. If you go around looking for what is disrespectful, you will feel disrespected all day. If you go around looking for hate, you will find hate. If you go around looking for trouble of any kind, you will find it. The universe is fair like that. But suddenly, if you don't open your heart to love, don't be surprised why you are constantly pissed off. Especially the ones that say they don't want to see white people. Oh, I hate white people, but you live in a white country or on a white platform. How stupid is that? But these are the type of conversations, if you're not careful, you'll find yourself in.
Let me just miss me with that. They'll use certain FBA people as proxies for all of us. They'll use certain ones as a proxy to show their hatred for all of us. So they'll show this extra amount of hate for one person who is going to be a proxy for all of us. Because I notice a lot of the people hating on Kevin Samuels are people with these foreign flags. And another thing, it's always people who are into degenerate sexual behavior. You know, Kevin Samuels, a lot of the stuff he talked about was traditional family values. And again, I don't agree with everything that Kevin was promoting, but one of the underlying messages was family values to a certain degree. And a lot of people who don't want to hear about traditional family values, men, women getting together, having families or whatever, these are usually people from these degenerate sexual communities. You see a lot of people.
So he's trying to imply that all these degenerate sexual behaviors, all these ratchet things you see, those are not black Americans. The black people you see, no, it's just fake. You know, like those love and hip hop, all those women you see acting like sluts online, everywhere, the videos we see. He's trying to tell us these people are in fact not black Americans. These are foreign blacks. That's what he is trying to tell us. That these people are not Americans. These are just some Africans that came here and started just having this, engage in this degenerate sexual behavior. But we all know that's not true. We all know this. We live here. We run into people. We watch TV. We mingle with people in real life. So tell that story to people who don't live here. We live here.
People with certain flags hating on him. You understand? You see a lot of that. And again, those are proxies. They use him as a proxy to get at us.
Why would immigrants hate Kevin? It is black American women who hate Kevin. That's who he was talking about. Black American women are the ones that show masculine energy. They're the ones that belittle their men. We all see this. We've watched, anybody that's watched Kevin, we've listened to the phone calls. We've heard these women call. We've seen what they look like. We've heard their ideas about men. For those of us that live in America, we were not surprised. Why would a foreign black person care enough to be mad about what Kevin is saying? These foreign people, we are sitting there learning, if anything, learning about how the women are in this society. Not for me, because I've lived most of my life here, but for people who are new, who don't know this or want to come to this society. Oh, even if you live in this society, naive guys that are sheltered. So when we look online, in fact, it is Black American women celebrating his death. In fact, they are the ones saying he disrespected them. I mean, because in America, when you speak the truth, it's called disrespect. So they are the ones we see. Last I checked, Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray and a couple of those women, last I checked, they're not from Nigeria. That much I know. So what is Tariq talking about?
They'll use that as a proxy to get at us. We got to understand that. And let's go back to that professor. That professor was talking about his dead carcass and all of that stuff. Let's stop. Because let me tell you something. They'll sit up here and talk about how Kevin Samuel said stuff. Oh, he hated on sisters and all that stuff. He said stuff that we didn't like. Oh, he deserved to die. But then they had Chet Hanks. I saw them interview Chet Hanks. Now, Chet Hanks did an interview with some foreign.
You guys remember, that's the show I did yesterday. Well, perfect. Like I said, anytime the white person is there, mind you, this guy, you heard him make fun of Black foreigners with accent. Today, you heard it's the African, but usually it's Jamaican. So that tells you these people do not care about other, African or Black groups. In fact, they loathe them, meaning they hate them. They make fun of them until if white people make, that aspect cool, then they become jealous and start trying to say, oh, these people are appropriating or mocking that culture, but you're not part of that culture. Why do you care? But watch what he's about to say here. He is almost the same issues you would have when you deal with a bunch of Black people. They would want you to hate the people they hate. So he's about to be pissed off because certain group didn't hate this person. Watch.
Lady, some non-FBA woman, and she asked him about all of that fake Jamaican accent. And he was like, I ain't going to apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. And all of the Jamaican flags and all the Caribbean flag wavers were sitting up here. Oh, yeah, we love him. Oh, we love Chet Hanks. Oh, we love him. Chet Hanks didn't do nothing wrong. So Chet Hanks, remember, Chet Hanks beat up his Black girlfriend, called her all types of ghetto Black bitches. He runs around here with a fake patch.
But maybe she's from the ghetto. He knows her. They are together. Here's this thing, fellas. Don't get yourself caught up in this BS. Even when you're going around, you see some woman. This is a rule of thumb for me. When I'm going down the street, I see some grown-ups fighting, a man and a woman. I just keep going. I don't know these people. These people live together. They came out there. If they are foolish enough to do what they are doing in public, why would I risk my life, my sanity to speak on that? If he calls that woman all type of Black bitch and ghetto, he knows her. He's the one dating her. Maybe that's who she is. He didn't call everybody that. He called her that. But he wants to use that Blackness. That woman is the one dating Chet Hanks, not every Black woman. Let's just call it what it is. So, long story short, it's none of your business. It's none of our business. But listen to this hypocrisy here, because Tariq himself said it in his video. If you want to marry a mixed race woman, a mixed race, make sure that her mother is white. He said, because white women know how to raise children better. He said it. He said, mixed race, if her mother is Black, don't go for it. If the mother is white, that means she's right in the head. He has the video. I've seen it. So, this outrage, I think acting like they hate whites, I think it's love for white. Love for white. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you love white, show it. It's okay to love human beings. And I've said it. If you hate one, and you tell me you love me, I don't trust you. Because that means for you to be able to hate another human being, you already have that hatred. So now if you disagree with me, you're going to find a reason to hate me as well, because that hate exists within you. So like, I have zero hate in me. I have zero anger. I love everybody, all humans, even my enemies. Even if I disagree with you, it's not about love or hate. I can disagree with you, and it has nothing to do with loving you or hating you. It's just based on what we're talking about or dealing with. But let's hear him tell us about Chet Hanks.
Our accent, and y'all non-FBA tethers sit up here and eat that nonsense up. Y'all sit up here and eat that nonsense up when it's Chet Hanks. But Kevin Samuels, he deserved to rot in hell. Give me a break. Kevin Samuels had unrealistic body identities for black women and all that. He gave black men unrealistic body expectations for black women. Stop it. If you want to see unrealistic body expectations, look at how white men treat white women. If a white woman gains 10 pounds, they're throwing her ass in the trash. All right? You want to see the weight and beauty standards they have for white women? White men's beauty standards are on a whole different level.
But you see, again, I hear these arguments. There's a Eurocentric beauty standard. If I'm a European, what do you think my beauty standard would be? It will be Eurocentric, meaning European centered, because I'm European, right? If I'm African, why would your beauty standard be European standard? I would think for the most part nowadays, especially, beauty is beauty. Okay? Beauty is beauty. But again, most people, the background they are coming from, whatever culture, that's what the standard is based off of. That's just human nature. That's what it's based off of. Why would I worry about what a European man wants, or even any other black person? Like, I could care less what your standard of beauty is, because guess what? If you're into, land whales or land chickens, that's on you. You get to be with that, not me. So I find it very weird. Even yesterday, the conversation, these men, they are now worse than the black women themselves. They have that spirit. It used to be black women to you, you love white women. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to, but now it is the men that would say, you must be married to a white woman. You love white women. Okay, what's that have to do with what we're talking about? Why it's so strange for another man to be so worried about what type of woman another man might be attracted to. It is the strangest thing. But they display this in public as if it's normal. This is not a normal male trait. I don't think a lot of these people get that. But I think because, I understand most of them are raised by women, which explains why the female estrogen emotional displays that we see grown men displaying is like a little girl trapped in a grown man's body. You must like white women. Sir, I see you as you're a man. What, do you see yourself as a black woman and hoping that I would date you? Is that what this is? I don't see any other reason why you would be so concerned with what another man likes.
Y'all remember Jessica Simpson, boy? Remember when she got just a little thick? Well, they threw her ass. They had headlines about her ass. See, white supremacist society, they are the ones who promote overweight black women. The overweight black women image comes from white society, the promotion of that, because that's a running joke with white society. This is what y'all don't understand. White society did this prank on black society by promoting overweight black women.
Nah. There is plenty of black men who tolerate that as well. They like that. They call them budang kodang. I've heard, you guys have seen those songs where, like, you know, it is well known. They're like, oh yeah, the black guy like the big woman. You know, like some would be saying, I'm just big bonded. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm surprised Lizzo still didn't have a, you know, a boyfriend. You see? That's why I'm surprised. You know, she's looking in all the wrong places. She need to go to the hood. Pretty soon, she would find herself a boyfriend. She's going to all the wrong places. I'm telling you, I've seen some of these guys on the street. You know, they call women bigger than Lizzo queen. You know, all of them are queens, right? Women bigger than her. The bigger you are, the more queenly, you know, manners you get. Lizzo would be worshipped as a queen, but she's going to all the wrong places. She needs to go to the hood in Missouri, somewhere, Midwest. She'll be fine.
That's been an inside joke with white supremacist society, going all the way back to Venus Hottentot, promoting this woman with a big ass and stomach and all that. That was something that they promoted as a joke. Read my book, Foundational Black American Race Baker. I talk about how they promote black women like that, almost as an animal, as a joke. That's why they promote Lizzo and all of that stuff and act like that's body positivity, and you fall for it. That's a prank that they playing on y'all, man. Back in the day, we understood the prank. At one point during Jim Crow, the white supremacists were going to try to put mammy statues all around the country. It was the black press that said, no, we ain't going for that.
So you didn't have enough power to stop Jim Crow or stop white people from doing what they were doing to blacks that blacks cry about. But you were able to have the power to stop them from putting black women statues. Are you serious right now? What, they went to the blacks and said, hey, blacks, we're going to put mammy statues all over America? Well, this is not white people's fault. We all know this. This is not white people's fault. Nobody is, putting that fork in this woman's hands. Nobody is driving these women or walking them to Golden Corral, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Izel's Chicken, KFC. I mean, should I keep going on and on? Or to the Crab Leg House? No one is forcing these women to these places. What do you mean by this is white people's fault? Oh, did white people also block them from going to the gym or running outside at the park? No, they did not. So you cannot say it is a joke because these women are seen as queens. Isn't this one of the reasons why they hated Kevin Samuels? Because he talks about them, losing that weight. How are you going to have a woman weigh more than you? That's not even safe. That's not safe. She shouldn't weigh more than you. Okay, let's go.
You're not going to put up images of overweight black women all around the country because we know that's an insult. So the image of the overweight black woman that they press in the media as if that's some type of positive, white society does that as a joke. And y'all still have not caught on to the damn joke. You still hadn't caught on to the damn joke, man. Because they don't play that when it comes to white women. The minute white women gain weight, you see how they feel about overweight women. They throw white women out the door. But going back to this professor, and I ain't gonna be on too long because I gotta rest my voice, ladies and gentlemen. Now going back to this professor. Now this professor, Uju Anaya, university professor, anti-racist, equity-minded, feminist. She got LGBT flags.
So she got LGBT flag. Obviously, this woman, she sounds like a very angry woman. She's in one of those classes. She's a professor of critical applied linguistic, anti-racist, equity-minded, feminist, a whole bunch of stuff. Obviously, that's a dead giveaway that this woman is a man hater. There's no shortage of man haters in America. And that's not only directed at Kevin Samuels. You know, that's not only directed at Kevin Samuels. These women have formed like a battalion, a brigade against men for the most part, especially these Twitter women. It has nothing to do with her name or where she's from, her spirit. She is a lesbian. And you know, these lesbians hate men. So, Tariq, I don't know what you expect from this woman. Do not try to put this on Africans. She's just a hateful American woman, period.
They say she teaches in Pittsburgh somewhere. Okay, I wonder what FBA students are going to her class. Now, this woman is supposed to be a professor in Pittsburgh somewhere, Pennsylvania somewhere. Now, she's supposed to be a professor. Now, I want y'all to look at this, guys. This professor here, hold on. This professor here, I want to show y'all something about this professor. This is why I say these folks can't be around us trying to teach us. Excuse me. This is what this professor thinks about us. This is the same professor talking about, no shade, sis, Akata need to quit with these assumptions that their blackness is the only one alive in the Americas. Mexico has a large, thriving black population. Okay, so she's calling us Akatas.
You were calling them terrorists. You guys remember, right? So I've heard Nigerians explain this several times. The Akata is not derogatory. Apparently, even Nigerians that from the West, when they go back, they do call them Akata. It's a term, it's like an endearment. It's not like nigger, like they try to put it. But you see, because of the way their mind works, they're saying things to hurt you. So therefore, they think you're doing the same thing. It's projection. Of course, because, I mean, let's be honest. Most of you that you see a black person coming being fascinated about black skin. Black is this, black is that. Don't you get sick over that? Don't you think to yourself like, hey, calm down. Do you guys think you're the only dark-skinned people in the world? Like, relax with this. I've been black my whole life. Like, what's this hype? So they put themselves out there and they don't want people. It's like, no, people don't care about this. Like, what's that fascination? Oh, my black skin. Is that the, how do I put it? Is that all to you, your skin color? So people get sick of it. They're like, man, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal. You know, you're not the only black person. Do you doubt your blackness? I'm black too. But I could care less. I've been in this skin my whole life. It's nothing new.
Here's another time she's showing these foundational black American girls. I thought this was the year of the return. Never could bring small light even for Akata. So she calls us Akatas like it's nothing. This woman refers to us as Akatas, ladies and gentlemen. This disrespectful bastard. And let's be clear. She was referring to Sanaa Lathan as a damn Akata. Her Akata comment, Sanaa Lathan.
He's trying again. You see what he does? He uses this type of talking points. In the beginning, you guys remember, he was making fun, all kind of fun at quote unquote tether. You know, it was all fun and game. So this person just referred to this other individual as just Akata, meaning American. Like in Mexico, they would call American gringo. It doesn't mean they're insulting them, but with the blacks, everything is an insult. That's because everything they say to people is meant to be an insult when the world is not like that. Supergirl, thank you for the $4.99 super chat. She said, for the Afridamasville, which will come to fruition before Tariq's museum, I presume. You might be correct there. Thank you. Thank you very much, Supergirl. Guys, please make sure you like and share the stream, and you can donate to Afridamasville Fund too. Thank you.
Lathan put up like black women spotted in Mexico, and her response was, the Akatas, meaning Sanaa Lathan, need to quit with these assumptions that their blackness is the only one alive in the Americas. So she's throwing shade at a foundational black American woman. I told y'all these tethers have vitriol for foundational black American women. They are so jealous and hateful of foundational black American women. They have so much contempt for foundational black American women. I told y'all they have.
Doesn't he sound like a female? He seems to find himself in female talk. So this woman is like, hey, get over your blackness. You're not the only person. So that translates in his mind and to the people you're talking to, that translates as hate. Okay. The only reason why that would make sense to someone else, that's because they have hate in them. So they would believe it. To me, it doesn't make sense. I don't see that as hate. What I read there was this woman is just pointing out that, hey, because I've seen black people do this. Oh, black this and you black this, and it's like, look, I don't care about this stuff. Like, what is a big deal? Just live your life, And I'm not surprised that this woman wrote this, because there are people with common sense. They don't care about this stuff. They get sick of it. All right, okay, fine. I'm black, you black. So what? I got problems that I need to attend to. And my skin ain't one of them. My skin is fine. That's all the woman is saying. And it's true, because they like to say, oh, as if they are the only black people in the Americas. But that's not true.
Have complete contempt for FBA women. Major contempt, ladies and gentlemen. This is why, man, we ain't rocking with these folks. These folks have contempt for us. So we're going to start taxing them too, like we're going to tax the white supremacists. They owe. They're going to have to break bread too, ladies and gentlemen. These people owe. They're going to have to break that bread too. All right?
Oh, hold on. Let me read this comment here. St. James said, the last time I checked, Layton was dating white men, the enemy, they say. Exactly. Well, the way it goes, the black men, they cannot openly date the whites if they are famous, because then they hate it. But let's say, the lady that plays tennis, Serena Williams, and a couple of like Tariq would call them bad wenches. So the females, they can marry. When they marry a white man, it's a come up. They're like, you go, girl. But when the men do it, they hate them. That tells you that their women have power, more power over them. I've never seen a society like that, where the woman is the one that decides who you can or cannot marry. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. But it's upside down here. That's how it is.
So look, we don't owe nobody nothing as foundational black Americans. We've done enough. We're tired of people eating off us. We're pulling the tablecloth away. It's a wrap. Everybody's going to have to start breaking bread. And we keep getting these nothing burgers. They keep putting these people like her in positions. They got Karine Jean-Pierre as the new White House press secretary. This is another non-FBA tether who has contempt for foundational black Americans. They're not going to do anything for foundational black Americans. Another thing, notice all of these people they're putting in these political positions, every single one of these black people are either one, they're all non-FBA tethers, and two, they all have white partners. All of them. She.
Are you going to also mention that they're LGBTQ? So a press secretary for the president's office, what can a press secretary really honestly do for your group other than coming out there and lying to the public about the president's agenda? You do realize that's what the press secretary does, to come and try to defend the administration. So her loyalty is to the president, not to you or me. She would lie to you in a heartbeat. She would lie to the whole country in a heartbeat, because that's what her job is. Her job is to come and do that. So if Tariq himself is honest, if he looks around, just like Obama's time, The LGBTQ people are the ones put in position, and there was no shortage of black lesbians, just like we're seeing today. Lori Lightfoot, this woman here, um, several other ones. We've seen them. So this is a completely different agenda. It has nothing to do with tethering, as he likes to put it. John Pierre is an American. Uh, People might be from Haiti, but her herself is an American, according to America's Constitution, born and raised.
He has a white girlfriend, a wife. All of them. The Supreme Court woman has a zaddy. Kamala Harris has a zaddy. They know what they're doing.
Doesn't Tariq himself, his mother-in-law, white? If he has so much contempt for whites, why is he married to a half-white woman, Jewish woman, as some of you have said? Do you guys understand he's playing a group of to the hatred of a group of people? So, okay, if Jean Pierre wants herself a white woman, what is wrong with that? That's who she's into. This woman is a lesbian. What do you as a man come off trying to even be jealous of a lesbian's partner? Or Kamala having a white husband? Everybody knows all these things. The Supreme Court person, this is nothing new. Just like yourself here, Tariq, your wife is damn near white. And you said when you marry a mixed woman, make sure the mother is white. So he sees whites as superior. Because I couldn't see any other argument. They would say, oh, historically, but that's not happening. How long do you want to drag that on? How long?
Putting these tethers in these positions with these Karens and Zaddies. They know exactly what they're doing. They know who to put in these positions. This is why these people cannot and will not represent foundational Black Americans, ladies and gentlemen. We're shutting it down. FBA against everybody, if that's going to be the case. There was another case up there in New York. This Guyanese officer shot a brother a couple of years ago, and now they're about to punish his ass. He thought he was going to get some white privilege by shooting foundational Black Americans. So now they're about to put some disciplinary action on his ass, and the police union out there ain't caping for him. Good, nigga. Yeah. We're going to start shutting all of these folks down who come over here and get with the white supremacists against us. We're going to have to circle these wagons, ladies and gentlemen.
So guys, Audrey, I agree with you. He's so annoying. Look, he didn't make his case for reparation at all. As you guys can see, this whole thing is now become a joke. It's become a joke. This is why when you engage people in conversation, you ask questions, they start getting mad. Yesterday, I was asking questions. They were, man, you're just a coon. I said, what is a coon? They could not explain it to me. Oh, a coon is a Black person that worships white people. I said, but I do not worship white people. I mean, any human being for that matter. But for you to think that it makes sense for another man you don't know that disagrees with you, just because they disagree, now they are worshiping a white person. Why does that even make sense to you? Does that mean deep down you see yourself as inferior to the white man? I think most Black people do, because they call white people white supremacists, meaning they think the white people are superior. They think the white people are superior, because why else would they say white supremacists? You see? So I've asked this question and it would throw people off guard. I said, oh, do you think white people are superior? Oh, no. I said, but why are you saying white supremacy? Oh, they think they are superior. Well, how do you know this? Are you in white people's head? It doesn't matter if someone thinks they are superior. How do you see yourself? You must feel inferior for you to even utter those words. It means you feel inferior as a human being to even think that way. People that misunderstand me, they think, oh, this guy, he thinks he is this, he's that, he's different. No, I just like to live my life. I don't think I'm better than anyone, and I don't think anybody is better than me. I respect people for people, even my enemies. I love all of them, all of you, you know. I mean, I know there's some of them that watch, they think I'm their enemy, but I still love them. So that's how you have to live your life, because I've thought about it. I wonder what it is like. Imagine walking around with hate in your heart, or walking around thinking that you are inferior because of your skin color. Other people are superior to you because of skin color. I wonder what that type of living is like. Because I don't think like that. I do not. I do not. So Tariq didn't make sense, people, as you can see, as usual, but I wanted to bring it to you and ask you, the viewer, those of you that are watching, do you guys think, even though that one chief apologized in Ghana, do you guys think Africa, as Tariq put it, Mozambique and all those countries, owe reparation to the blacks? Do you guys think so? I know my section of Africa, we do not owe anybody anything. Absolutely nothing. So, what do you think? Please put it in the comment section. We have Harlem Street Tales. He said, "You are a lie and a piece of S." Thank you, Mr. Harlem. It seems like you are a new person on here. Mr. Harlem, I understand. I understand your frustration and your being upset. I understand it. Because when you are used to hearing somebody blow smoke up your ass, and then you meet somebody who is talking sense into you, I can see how the information, would trigger you, would upset you. But I guarantee you, if you stick around, you continue attending the Afridamasville report, sir, all these feelings would fade away. You would learn the truth. You would once again open your heart to love. You would once again realize the only person you need to hold accountable is the man that looks at you when you look in that mirror, meaning yourself. It is not white people's fault. It is not your mama's fault. It is not your daddy's fault. You need to forgive your parents and move on so that you can have peace. Of course, do what you like, but if you allow this poison called hate to persist in your heart, you are not going where you think you're going when you die. This is the truth. And you are not getting reparations either. Just wanted to make sure I throw that out there. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to keep you waiting. I've been here 2 hours. Thank you so very much. Please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to donate to the Afridamasville Fund. I had a great time. I hope you did too. I don't want to keep you here. I got stuff to do, but I will see you guys in another show. Enjoy.
Entre más lejos, más feliz. Era un veneno y lo bebí. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Siempre sé la peli esa actriz, pero ya vamos llegando al fin. Yeah, yeah. Somos felices a distancia.